so that when the markets come down and investors are fearful, they don't want to invest in companies, people stop spending as much, they start thinking about their subscriptions and start canceling subscriptions, we're going to be good and we're going to be able to buy up some of our competitors who are going to be struggling. So he's just raised hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for his AI company.
Right. And it's probably like that. Easy.
Yeah, it was easy now.
Right.
The question here is like, what should, at different levels, so like the average Joe on the street up to entrepreneurs that are running companies, how do they all prepare for an economic bubble that might burst?
He's such a good example. And what that does, and just following up through on what we were saying a minute ago, is that increases the supply of AI stock.
Okay, yeah, because he's sold stock.
Because he's going to sell more.
Yeah.
Right? And so as he and others do that more, this greater supply of stock comes in. And so he wants to get ahead of it in that dynamic. And then, that contributes to the bubble. But how do they prepare?
How does the average person?
I would also say something. The future is very unknown. And people should not be timing. Sophisticated investors have a real challenge even in timing a bubble. So the important thing always is to diversify. Now we're going to go back to money, the basics of money management. And I by the way, I personally have gone through the cycle because I didn't have any money. And then I had a lot of money. And I remember the cycle very well. What happens is as you start off, I used to count how many months I would be okay, a certain amount of money, how much I would be okay if no more money came in. If I lost my job or whatever I did, I'd mostly I worked 2 years for somebody, but in other words, if money didn't come in, and it would be months and then years and so on to build that security because I had to take care of my family and so on. And so as we're looking at these things, these are the choices that you have in order to be able to say, do I buy my house or apartment? Do I put my money into cash? And what happens to money is you have to put it into something because they'll pay you interest on it, okay? So that's your cash deposit and so on. And people think that that's the safest. It's not. It's the worst investment over a long period of time because inflation will eat it away.
You mean putting it in a bank, just leaving it in a bank?
In whatever form, a money market fund, whatever it is that short term, I've deposited and it'll give me an interest rate. Okay. And that's what they think about as cash. Nobody leaves it literally in cash because if it's literally in cash, it doesn't earn interest. So why shouldn't I put it there and get some interest on it? And so that's cash. And people think that that's the safest and has the lowest return, guaranteed almost to have the worst return over the longer period of time.
People keep cash because it feels safer.
That's right. And I'm saying it's not safer because of inflation.
Explain that to me in simple terms.
Okay. Well, if I got no interest rate, then what I would do is I'd lose to the inflation rate.
And what's the inflation rate?
And 3.5% or 4%. It happens to be about where it is now.
A year?
Yeah, a year.
So that I lose $3.5 a year.
That's right.